And remember, when we talked about feminine and masculine energy, we're talking about energy. We're not talking about how you dress, not necessarily how you carry yourself. No, we're talking energy. Think energy. If you think of kinetic energy, and if you think of, you know, electrical energy, you think of feminine and masculine energy as energy, right? The first way you can make personal development work for you as a feminine woman is to use the power of repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You see, the thing about feminine energy is it's the energy of being, right? Whereas when we talk about masculine energy, it's the energy of doing. Feminine energy has a lot to do with being, okay? But we need to break this being thing into practical steps, right? When I tell you just be, you know, be the person you want to become, embody that which you need to become, you might not understand what I'm talking about. That's why I've taken time to make the identity shift videos, to give you a clear and definite process in your being journey. So one of the steps in the being journey is embodying, and your habits of belief, your habits of, you know, action, and then your outcomes, right? So a lot of being and embodying comes down to habits and comes down to what you do on a daily basis. And the only way to make a habit stick and establish a habit is repetition. The nature of habits is repetition. You repeat something until it becomes automatic, that you don't have to think about it anymore. And the best thing about this is we can make good things, good habits, so that we do good things without having to think about them. Bad habits are easy to make and hard to live with, and good habits are hard to make but easy to live with. We want to make our lives easy, but it's going to take some effort on our part to install those good habits, and in doing so is repetition. I can't tell you how many times I've had to repeat like books, concepts. I've read this book 3 times, this Atomic Habits. I've read it over and over again just so that I have those principles sink in, so that I really understand what I'm talking about. For things to go from your conscious mind to an unconscious mind, repetition is absolutely necessary. And as women, we must understand that. We must understand that even if you read a book, doesn't mean that you just throw it away. If it was a really good book, then the next time you read it, you'll probably have up-leveled your consciousness, up-leveled your awareness, so that when you read it again, you see things that you never saw before. You implement things that you never implemented before, because you're repeating it and you're learning it over and over again. So whenever you learn a new concept, practice it over and over again. The most effective way to learn is not planning, it's practice. There are a lot of people planning on how they're going to be. There are a lot of people planning on their goals, you know, having vision boards, and I love that. I'm a law of attraction enthusiast. But you must also practice. There are 3 levels to identity shifting. You must embody that which you wish to become, and you do that by repetition. The second thing I want to talk about is, the second point is reprogramming your mind. Reprogramming your mind, okay? When you are trying to change yourself, you're trying to like embody a new version, a new better version of yourself, it is inevitable that you're gonna face resistance, unless of course you had already primed yourself to, in your mind, to already believe that you are that new version of you. So it takes a lot of reprogramming of old habits of belief. The David you're sculpting is you, okay? The story of somebody asking Michelangelo, how do you sculpt David? Like, you have this lump of rock, how do you make David out of it? And then he says, David was always there, I just removed the parts that weren't David. You're gonna have to remove the parts that aren't the real version of you, that don't serve you anymore, and that takes reprogramming, okay? We said feminine energy has to do with being. It doesn't matter how many books you read, if you don't undo the limiting beliefs that you have, it's never gonna sink in, because there's a thermostat. Your mind operates like a thermostat, right? Every time you deviate from the norm, from what you're comfortable being, the ego will bring you back. It will bring you back to your current comfortable self. So you'll find yourself, for example, for 1 month, you're very productive, you're doing it all, you're taking your water, you're studying, you're hanging out with friends, you're being nice to your family. Then the next month, you completely just stop. You just lie down and don't do anything anymore. You stop exercising, you stop eating well, and you're back to square one. And then the thermostat is like, oh wait, we're below normal. So then you get motivated again, and then the cycle continues. So it is very important to reprogram your mind. I have a 7-step process to reprogram your mind in Affirmation Manifestation Journal in the description. So if you're interested, you can do that. There are so many ways to reprogram your mind. Just identify those things that no longer serve you, those beliefs that no longer serve you, and reprogram your mind. One way to do this again is affirmations. It's a very simple way to do it. The third thing that we're going to do as feminine women in personal development is reconstruct. Okay, reconstruct. We've already said that we're reprogramming ourselves. One of the big things I talk about in the reprogramming steps is to find affirmations that confirm this new identity that you want to be, right? You have read something interesting, you've discovered something in personal development, you've learned about the law of attraction, you've learned about, starting small, staying consistent, and now you want to change your life. What do? You reconstruct the way you do things. So when you're doing your inner work, you change how you speak, right? You change what messages you've been telling yourself. You change your environment, okay? Because environment plays such a huge impact. You change the people you're hanging around so that everything is making it easier for you to shift to this new identity, to absorb these personal development principles, to become the best version of yourself. And one of the things I always say is confirm your affirmations. Confirm them. Find things in your day-to-day life that affirm this new identity and repeat them. Step 1, repeat them over and over again until this becomes so real to you, it's undeniable. That's how you got your present beliefs. Personally, I love personal development videos because I need to hear it different ways so that I get it down to in my bones, that this is it. You should focus on those things that you want, those things that you desire, rather than that which you don't want. I don't know how many ways people have said the same thing, but I'm not tired of it because I need to repeat it. I need to learn it. I need to embody it. I need to reconstruct the way I speak, the way I think about things. So I'm very happy to watch personal development videos, to learn from personal development experts. And in that way, we are reconstructing our environment, we're reconstructing the way we think, we're reconstructing the way we do things. And in doing so, we shift to a new identity, we attract more, we become more. And it all works out, especially as women. And then another thing we can do is learn how to think, okay? Retrain your brain on how to think, rethink. So one way I've done this is using affirmations. I talk about this in my affirmation manifestation journals and trainings a lot. When you have an affirmation, okay, you find an affirmation. I love Louise Hay affirmations. Find affirmations, and then rather than just repeating them mindlessly and perfunctorily, what you do is ask yourself questions with it. Make it so that it's your goal. Your goal is, the affirmation is, I'm a breeze of joy entering every room. Then you ask yourself, is this true? If it's not true, find ways to make it true. Find ways to raise your vibration. Find ways to be the highest vibe person in every room. If you tell yourself that I forgive myself and others, in forgiving myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. Ask yourself, is this true? Of course it's not true. There was a time I was like, literally, it's not true. I am the best grudge holder. I can remember things people did to me when I was 5 years old. That was the truth at that point in time. So I had to be like, okay, what's the smallest step I can do to get close to this affirmation? And then I said, okay, I can let go of the grudges I had when I was 5 years old, 5 to 10 years old. I'll let them go. Whatever little Tommy did to me in the playground, whatever so-and-so did to me, whatever teacher yelled at me, I'm letting it go. And that's how you program yourself to think differently. Use your affirmations as guideposts to help you and teach you how to think, right? Teach you what is your goal belief, your goal thoughts, if that makes sense. And then finally, the fifth point is reorient yourself. In the law of attraction, okay, we like to think in positives, right? You think of what you desire rather than what you don't want, okay? You focus on what you want and the positives and gratitude and things like that. And part of that is orienting yourself with the best traits in your reality that reflect your desired reality. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is a transition period before you get what you desire. Before you get the life of your dreams, there's always a transition period. The thing about the law of attraction is it doesn't happen, immediately. There's a time buffer which serves us. The mirror principle also says that there's a time buffer. There's always a time buffer because your reality now is who you were. It has manifested based off of your past actions, your past behaviors. So now obviously, now that you're different, sometimes it changes immediately, but most times you get a few signs, and if you persevere, things change. Okay, so whatever time it will change, it doesn't matter. We're staying in the high vibe, right? So this means that you have to maintain your state of gratitude, your state of thanksgiving, your state of high vibe, your state of appreciation in this present moment, despite the surroundings not changing. And how you do that is to orient yourself with the best traits of your environment that show you that of what's coming, the good that's coming, and you're excited about that. So for example, you want to manifest in your life a good relationship. Think of the great relationships you have now and the best traits of the people in your life right now, the people you hang out most, right? Or find people, even on the internet, whoever is reflecting that. That's why we think of signs and, oh, I manifested this and manifested that. It's all adding up to other manifestations. They're like working together. So when I see good friendship, like I see like around me, I'm seeing people who are good friends, I'm like, oh my gosh, a sign. It's a sign. I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for myself who has good friends. If a friend calls me, I confirm it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you see? Do you see? I'm manifesting caring and loving people in my life. Things like that. If I, for example, when I was studying, I manifested a lot of these study with me videos on my feed. So I found a person who I really vibed with, and I used to watch them all the time. They'd raise up my vibe when I was studying, and I was like, yeah, I like this person. And I would watch all his videos of studying, and in doing so, it made me like studying. I started to associate studying, and this is also scientific. When you associate certain habits with good and attractive cues, you want to do it more, and the more you do it, the more you attract them. And it's a beautiful cycle. And the reverse can be true. We have apocalyptic habits where you feel bad about doing something, and the feeling bad about doing it makes you do it more. So make sure you notice all the good in your life, and I promise you, you will attract more good. That's just how it works. If you're interested in affirmation manifestation journal, check in the description. Interested in coaching, check also in the description. And have a great weekend. Bye.